Let's walk through the actual process once someone has applied for one of your positions and the various updates and actions that you might need to take in the system. So let's start by looking at a brand new applicant. You can see here that it will tell you the status is a new applicant. And you have the option to review their profile information, the qualifications, answers to their questions that are in the system, their availability. Do they need to get a visa? Are they in the US on a current J1 visa, for example? As well as the documents that they have uploaded. A resume is required, but anything else is optional. Okay. So as we talked about in another video, there are ways to comment and communicate with the applicant. If you do have a specific question that you want to ask them before you make any further decisions or whether you decide to proceed or not, you can simply send them a message. And they will log into the system and provide a response. So again, the general section is their application for your position with the standard responses. Comments and clarifications is where you could message back and forth about this specific application. But let's see how you need to proceed from here. So you basically have two options at this point. If you want to consider this applicant for any reason, then you can click under review. If you know right off the bat that this person is not what you're looking for, then you would click not selected. Now, we understand that you as a company have your own internal process for the hiring decisions, and that you may need to ask them to fill out your job application. There, of course, could be one or more interview rounds. And so the next step in the process is simply whether or not the person is going to proceed with you, and that will be considered under review. For this person, we're going to select not selected, and it's going to ask you for some information about why you decided that. So for example, it could be insufficient education, work experience, they simply do not match, they were unresponsive, or maybe the timeline doesn't work. This just gives us some information that we can use at the aggregate level on the success of the applications and the outcomes of the positions. So this is going to let the applicant know that they were not selected for this position. So again, this section is for brand new applications that you have not looked at and you have not updated the status. But if you have lots of applications, for example, under review or in various stages of the process, you can always click View Applications, and then you'll see broken down by status where each one of them is in the process. So for example, the person we just looked at, we made not selected, so that's why they're here. And then another one of our applicants, we did put in under review. So again, this could mean many different things based on your individual hiring process. The next step in the system will be whether or not you decide to make an offer. First step is reviewing the new application, and do you want to proceed with that applicant or not? So proceeding with that applicant, contacting them for the next step would be under review. If you decide not to proceed with that applicant at all, that would be not selected. So let's take a look at this application, which is under review, and say that we have done our interview and gone through all the steps of the process internally at your company. So next we want to decide whether or not we're going to make an offer. So you basically, again, have two options. You can either make an offer or decide that you are not able to select them. So let's make an offer to this person. That updates the status and sends that person a message. And so now it is pending an acceptance by the candidate. So after the candidate logs into the system, they will update the status of their application and they will either accept or decline. Now, at any time, the applicant could also simply cancel their application for many different reasons. Maybe they're no longer available. and that would be under canceled application. So if the candidate decides to accept or reject your offer, you will get a notification alerting you to log in and check the status of your application. So again, all your applications in all different statuses will always be here. Once you have made an offer and it has been accepted, that's when you need to contact your visa sponsor to actually start the process for the J1 visa for research scholars.